Yo, what up, what up? What up, M Gal, what up? What's going on? Just getting the stream started here, boys. Welcome in, welcome in. So, as you see it here, there's been a clip released. Jon Jones kind of questioning Tom Aspinall's fighter spirit. You see this right here. One of Tom's early losses to a heel hook. He tapped real quick. Jon did his homework on him, about 6 months ago when he was considering fighting him. He saw this and he brought it up in an unreleased interview from 6 months ago. So here's what he said. He goes, "I'll be interested to see if he'll win his next fight against Ciryl Gane. There's a video that hasn't gone viral, but one of his losses, he was very much an adult. I believe already a black belt, and he was taken down and the guy twisted his ankle and he had no defense. He tapped so quickly. I had a fight where I got armbarred and I was literally willing to let someone break my arm before giving up. With Tom, the moment he felt any pressure on his ankle, he tapped immediately, which let me know a lot about him. Or which lets me know a lot about him." Yo, what up, White Conda? What do we think, boys? What do we think about this Jon Jones prediction here about Tom Aspinall? Fair, foul? For me, I think that... We'll play the clip in a second, but let me get this off first. For me, I think it's kind of like... These old school guys are just different. They're just cut from a different cloth. You've been hearing it today, too. I think Dustin Poirier was like, he should have kept going. I mean, even... I know it's pot meets kettle, right? But Aljamain Sterling. A lot of these guys are kind of, I guess just more fighters. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a generational thing. I don't know. But the way Jon explained it, saying like, I had a fight where I got armbarred and I was literally willing to let someone break my arm before giving up. This has nothing to do with Tom's eye poke right now. This has a lot to do with the fact that Jon, in his career, was willing to get his arm broken, right? Like the Russians, you see, Muhammad Mokaev, perfect example, right? He got his knee fucking hyperextended to the max, refusing to fucking tap. And I think his arm at one point in time as well, refusing to tap. Then you see Tom tap into a quick heel hook. Fast forward, you see Tom with his little eye injury here. I don't know. I'll say I'm not looking down on Tom, but I'm going to just chalk it up to being some type of generational, thing. People of yesterday, from Jon's generation, a little bit more tough. A little bit more, don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, Tom saved himself a lot of damage, right? If he couldn't continue, there's no moral victory in continuing a fight, letting your eye get worsely damaged, right, when you have a whole career ahead of you. I mean, I'm going to die on that hill. These guys can say they would have continued, but does that mean it would have been the smart, most, would that be the decision that would give him the most longevity? No. So you can say, I'd be tougher than that. But just because you would be tougher than that doesn't mean that would give your career more longevity. But then again, Dustin Poirier had a real long career. Jon Jones had a real long career. So I don't know. Here's the clip, though. Comment what you guys think. Let me know. Because this narrative's changing every fucking day.
Wins his next fight.
Hold up. Let me get my headphones in. Alright, let's listen to this.
Ciryl Gane, supposedly. There's a video that It hasn't gone viral, but one of his losses, he was very much an adult. I believe already a black belt, and he was taken down, and the guy twisted his ankle. He had no defense. He tapped so quickly. There was no. I had a fight where I got arm barred, and I was literally willing to let somebody break my arm before giving up.
This is Vitor Belfort.
Vitor Belfort. With Tom, the moment he felt any pressure on his ankle, he tapped immediately, which lets me know a lot about him. I'll be interested to see if he wins his next fight.
What's the rumor? Cyril Gane?
Cyril Gane, supposedly.
So he was saying, I'd be interested to see if he wins his fight against Cyril Gane, you know, because of what he sussed out from his early days. I guess if you go to Tom Aspinall, everybody's weighing in on it right now, though. You gotta imagine Tom's follower count is going up at the very least. You know what I mean? So Tom got 2 losses in his career. Or sorry, 3, but really technically 2. And this Stewart guy is the one who heel hooked him in Bama. Round 2 submission. Like John said, he tapped really quickly. You guys want to see it? Shout out to let me pull up X. Shout out to Happy Punch because they posted the, you know, they gave the B-roll. And everybody's response, so why'd he turn down the 30 million? I don't see that in the comments yet, but I might see it soon. So here it is with B-roll. We don't need to re-listen to the whole thing, but here's the submission part.
Hasn't gone viral, but one of his losses, he was very much an adult. I believe already a black belt, and he was taken down, and the guy twisted his ankle. He had no defense. He tapped so quickly. There was no. I had a fight where I got arm barred, and I was literally willing to let somebody break my arm before giving up.
This is Vitor Belfort.
Vitor Belfort. With Tom, the moment he felt any pressure on his ankle, he tapped immediately, which lets me know a lot about him.
So make of it what you will, but I think John has a point. Tom, I mean, the way he even tapped there, I'll just say, he appears to have a great concern for his fighter's safety. There was almost no shame in it. He's like, oh, he got me. Tap before I get injured. That's like first thought that came to my mind when I watched him tap right there. Just saying. I could be wrong, but I'm going to just say how I saw it right off the bat. And then, you know, again, you have Yuri Prochazka. So not even a generational thing, but just like a fighter-to-fighter thing. You know, another one who's a little bit soft, and he actually, no offense, I don't mean to even call Tom Aspinall soft, but I mean compared to these guys, right, in the context of even what Yuri Prochazka says here, Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley's another one where he doesn't really, you know, he's not as much about the, you know, the blood and guts of fighting, right, like some of these other fighters. So here's Prochazka kind of talking about an eye poke he got from Jamal Hill, I guess, reacting to it after knocking him out. And so the quote real quick is, I will play the game for the doctor, no way to stop the fight because an eye poke, I've got one more eye. This is the true sport of man. Fighting with eyes, no eyes, doesn't matter. Fight till the end. And you got to respect this, you know. It's tough. It's almost like you can't look down on Tom because these guys are this way. But it's like Tom ain't this way. I think that's safe to say, you know. Tom ain't cut from this cloth. But just because these guys are willing to play the game and still go with it, again, it speaks to a little bit of a bigger issue. Like, it doesn't matter that these guys are too tough for their own good, right? It speaks to a bigger issue. Stop the fucking eye pokes. Because the other fighters are taking advantage of it too. Their fighter spirit. You know, don't think that a fighter won't game plan against Yuri now and be like, oh yeah, you could poke him in the eye. Yuri will continue fighting even if he's compromised. Poke him in the eye badly, right? Compromise him. He's going to fucking continue and then knock his ass out. See, you can easily exploit these tough fighters who say the things that Yuri says. I just want to debunk it real quick before he says it. And it doesn't mean Yuri's wrong, but it just means that, like, you know, these guys are tough, yes. But I think the bigger issue here isn't about who's willing to fight with the eye poke, right? The bigger issue is let's stop the fucking eye pokes. Let's stop the eye pokes. Let's just keep it on that. You know? Not, oh, this guy would have fought with it. This guy wouldn't have fought with it. No, but regardless of who would have and who wouldn't have, can we all agree that the eye poke should have never happened in the first place? And that at the very least, you should be penalized at the first offense for at least an eye poke. You know, nut shots can be up for debate, up for discussion based off of how tough it was. At least you're wearing protection to begin with. There is no protection on the eyes. What are they supposed to wear? Fucking goggles? I see everybody talking about that now. Wear fucking goggles. My goodness gracious. That's going to be the next pain in the ass in the fucking C, okay? Shout out the boys in the chat. I'll read it off real quick before we play this clip. What up, Turtle? What up, Randy? Welcome back, boys. Randy, I saw your comment earlier. I was going to comment back to you and say, see you in the live. But here you are. I knew you'd be here. Hi, I came here to learn how to eye poke. Well, Turtle, if you want to do the double eye poke, you know what I mean? It's right there. It's right there. And I think Ciryl Gane style, it would be on that first takedown attempt, right? Instead of even trying to sprawl, fuck the sprawl, okay? Fuck the sprawl, hands straight to the face. Straight to the face. You know, kind of like, give him one of these. You know, fuck the sprawl. We're done with sprawls. Especially if you fight Yuri Prohaska. I mean, in my opinion, sprawl would be plan B, because I'm going to exploit the rule set now. I'm going to exploit the rule set. I'm going to not sprawl against Yuri Prohaska because he's too tough for his own good. I'm going to damage him up real bad with that first eye poke. He's going to continue fighting, and I'm going to knock his ass out. That's what I'm doing to Yuri. And who's going to stop me? Obviously, Yuri would kill me, but I'm just saying, if I'm a fighter. And obviously, it didn't work for Jamal Hill either, but still. You get my point. What up, Maverick? Where can I learn that technique? Jon Jones at, what's his gym? Jackson Wink. I'm hurt. Tom got poked. I had Gane money line, and he was about to put it on Tom. Yeah, he was about to put it on Tom. And that would have been good money. Tom's still the favorite going into the rematch, though, Randy, so, but he's not as big of a favorite. Turtle, I don't know. It seemed intentional to me. Turtle, I mean, I think I would go more on that route than anything, you know. And I don't care. At this point, I'm like almost like siding with Tom just on the simple fact that no one's even going after Ciryl Gane whatsoever. If I have to be the only one to present the argument that has to go against Ciryl Gane, then so be it. You know what I mean? Why is Tom getting all the shit and Ciryl Gane ain't getting nothing? At this point, it's like, fuck you, Ciryl Gane. Not, you know, I don't mean to be rude, right? We're entertaining here. But it's like, at this point, it's like, fuck you, Ciryl Gane. You don't even get the fucking rematch. The way I'm getting this shit for you poking me in the fucking eye. You know what I mean? Why don't you speak up and say, hey, stop giving Tom flack. I poked him. It's my fucking fault. I should have had better control of my weapons. Why don't you speak up, bro? If this was boxing or some shit and there was a true A side, I'm telling you right now, Ciryl Gane wouldn't even get the rematch. You know, I'm Team Aspinall, and in my opinion, I'm gonna lean more on the side of it was intentional. You know, he got warned also. He got warned in the cage, you know, before they walked out. I mean, how many warnings? What'd I say last night? What'd I say last night, boys? If you warn someone and tell them not to do something to you, and then they go ahead and do it anyway, are you gonna say, oh, it's all good, it was an accident? I mean, so why does it change here? When you got all this shit on the fucking line, bro. Your country, championships, pay-per-view points. You know what I'm saying? Show and win bonus as far as your pay goes. I don't think Tom's getting a flat fee. Not Tom. I don't think Cyril's getting a flat fee. Tom Trash Pinall quit. Maverick. Damn. Okay, Maverick. Okay, Maverick. Tom Trash Pinall quit. A lot. Hey, it's 50-50. Okay, we'll use eye pokes to stop takedown. Turtle, I think that would be the best bet. And then here's the benefit, Turtle. Let me give you the benefit of all of this, right? If you happen to be fighting a guy who's beating your ass, even more so, right? the reason to poke him in the eye, because get this, if you poke him in the eye, right, and he can't continue, the worst that happens is it results in a no contest. Okay? That's the worst that happens. So think about it. If you're getting your ass beat, I would highly consider poking your opponent in the eye, okay? Because it's going to get chalked up as unintentional, which by the rules, if you watched the stream last night, you know what I'm saying? We read the rules last night, okay? Per the rules, if you poke a guy in the eye, it'll be ruled unintentional, and then that results in a no contest, just like what happened this past weekend. So yeah, food for thought. If you're getting your ass beat, fighters out there, see, because if the rules want to be this stupid, then I'm gonna start doing it like this. Okay, fighters out there, if you're getting your ass beat, all right, if you find yourself in a matchup where you're completely outgunned and outmatched, okay, for example, Rainier de Ritter against Brennan Allen the other week, right? Instead of quitting on the stool, right, Rainier was outgunned and outmatched. Instead of Rainier quitting on the stool last week against Brennan Allen, he should have just poked Brennan in the eye. Because then it wouldn't have been intentional, right? You got to poke him hard enough, though. Make sure you poke him hard enough to where they can't continue, all right? Make sure you poke him hard enough to where they can't continue. Because if Brennan couldn't have continued, that would have been unintentional foul from RDR, and the fight would have ended in a no contest. No contest. So there you go. There you fucking go. Bullshit. That's the loophole in the system for everybody. I'll read more chats real quick. Quitter, Maverick again with the quitting. No way. Was no way intentional. TBH, fighters do that to create separation, but it turns into eye pokes when fighters are constantly moving. Same things boxers do all the time, but they have the gloves. I mean, yeah, Randy, but the thing is that Cyril Gahn's hands were all over Tom's face to begin with from that first takedown attempt. Do I need to pull up the bookmark? I think you guys already know. That's the thing. Cyril Gahn's hands were all up in Tom's face to begin with, bro. That's why he got warned already. So if his hands weren't all up in his face off that first takedown attempt, okay, maybe there's an argument. But it's like, bro, when are we going to hold these guys accountable? How many times does he have to put his hand all up in his fucking face, you know what I mean, to be held accountable? And Randy, I guess, you know, the whole space thing, I guess this is DJ's argument, Demetrius Johnson. But, you know, I'm on the school of thought of Jim Miller. You know, the guy who spent some of the most time in the octagon. Even a guy like Demetrius Johnson spent the most time in the octagon. How many eye pokes he got? I don't think that many. I don't recall. You know what I mean? I'd have to look back. But I don't remember that many eye pokes from DJ. And I know DJ fights with, you know, open hands and shit like that. But, again, think about this, guys. Think about how much you got to deliberately poke someone in the fucking eye. Like, come on. It's not just... Why don't there more fish hooks? Right? Why aren't there more pokes in the fucking mouth and shit like that? Why is it always the eye? You got to somewhat, you know, aim for the eye. It's not just a coincidence that fingers just, like, go right into the eye, in my opinion. What up, Jew? What up, Jew? We got Jew in the stream tonight. Let's go. Gahn was the one who committed the foul 100%. He apologized after the fight, though. Randy, he did, but to be honest with you, like, I don't know, Cyril was a little bit too, like, smiley for me at the press conference, too. Like, I would like to see Cyril come back out and like, really stand up for Tom. He doesn't have to by any means, and I won't hold it against him. But I would just like to see him, you know, stand up for Tom. Tom's getting a lot of shit from all the fighters right now, and it kind of feels like Cyril's just letting it happen. When Cyril could come out and easily speak up for him a little bit and be like, hey, look, man, leave it alone. You know what I mean? Remember what Jamal Hill did when he beat somebody's ass and everybody was giving him shit? I think it was, Johnny Walker. Everybody was giving Johnny Walker shit after Jamal knocked him out, I think. And Jamal goes online and he says, hey, man, don't trash the guy. You know, we're all good fighters at the end of the day. Something like that. I would like to see Cyril do something like that. So, new era had came. Turtle, I'm not exactly sure what that means. Still watching the Dodgers game. About to go 16 innings. LMAO. Damn, Randy. The thing about not having cable, Randy, is that you don't pay attention to any fucking mainstream sports. The only thing I have somewhat of an inkling on is fucking football. But like baseball and NBA, I got no clue. I only see that shit when I'm at the gym. It was valid, man, but I do think he's milking the situation to seek validation from the fans. But he really got poked. I believe he did get blinded, but don't blame him for not pushing. It was valid, but I do think he's milking the situation to seek validation from the fans. You know, low-key, I think he's milking it with that eye patch, right? That's the only thing I keep harping on is the eye patch. But who are we to say, right, how bad Tom was hurting? So I'll leave him alone. I won't even say he's milking it. You know, I'll just leave him alone on that. I can't speak for the man. If that's what he's gonna present, I'm not. You know, what can I say? So if I know I'm gonna lose a decision, yeah, Turtle, right? But the thing is, Turtle, I forgot to add this. If you know you're gonna lose a decision, you gotta make up your mind in the first round, because if it goes longer than that, right, then it would result in like the judges' scorecards if it goes past like 2 rounds or something like that. So you got to identify that you're going to lose the fight within that first round, poke his ass, and then there's no chance it goes to the scorecards because, you know, majority of the fight hasn't even taken place yet. So yeah, that's what you do, Turtle. That's what you do. Live to fight another day. Exactly, Jew. Exactly. I should start an eye poke. Jew laughing at my fucking example. Train eye pokes is next level. Next level, bro. But hey, that's the game, bro. If you're going to have loopholes in the rules like that, you know, who's not to exploit it? Who's not to exploit it? Now, if the loophole was, you know, a DQ, right? If you get DQ'd for that shit, that's a whole different story. Ain't nobody going to do it. And that's the fucking difference, bro. I'm only telling you guys that because you can get DQ'd, but that's when it's ruled intentional. And like we've been over a million times over the last 2 weeks, it's never intentional. So you technically, like that rule, that part of the rule is just there in writing, but it never gets used. It never gets executed. You know, it's always unintentional, which if it's unintentional, that results in a no contest, right? Unintentional eye poke, imagine a column here. Unintentional eye poke, no contest, right? Right there. Intentional eye poke, DQ, right? But under intentional, no eye poke in history has ever been deemed intentional. So there you go. Or kick him like Reese kicked Dumas, LMAO. Yeah, those nut shots. And, you know, for a nut shot like that, again, that's DQ or that's a point. That's something. You remember the eye poke that DC ate in the 3rd round against that last Stipe fight? Yeah, but I heard DC talk about that today, and DC's like, yeah, I kept fighting, but that's because it was my last fight. It was my fucking retirement fight. Like, I didn't give a fuck. And again, DC's another one of those junkyard dogs, bro. Some of them are just different, right? Some of them are just different. Just because they're willing to doesn't mean everybody should, and it doesn't even mean it's the smart decision, right? It's actually the dumb decision. The smart decision is always the longevity for your career, right? And fuck the people who go against you or give you shit, you know, because at the end of the day, all you have is your health and wellness in this life, bro. It's all you fucking have. So if you have to take shit for it, it's just a part of it. Like it is what it is. I thought it was weird at the ER they kept asking the doctor, so it was good that we stopped the fight, right? That was corny, Jew. That was corny. They're definitely like all up in their what do you call it? Like self-righteous, something like that. Self-righteous, all up on their high horse, something like that. I can't find the saying, but it's something like that. Getting the doctor to kind of like, you know, co-sign them real quick on the camera. Come on, bro. Who you got, Unama or Garcia? I'm going to go Garcia, Randy. I'm gonna go Garcia, and I think I'm confident in that bet. I don't want to hear it. Bisping won a title with one eye. Yeah, another one. Bisping fucking cut from a different cloth, bro. I wonder what Bisping's narrative about Tom Aspinall is now. Actually, there's a clip we can play, but let's just watch this. I already teased it. Let's watch this just real quick.
The eye poke. Were you concerned at all when the doctor was talking to you that he was thinking of stopping it?
I will play for the doctors the game that I'm okay. If he wants to stop something like that, no way for to stop the fight because of this. I still feel that right now. There is no way to stop the fight because of eye poke. I've got one more eye, so so no, we are here for fight, to win the fight. I know there is a rules and all these things, but this is the true sport of man, the fight. You fighting with eyes, no eyes, doesn't matter. Like for me, it's like fight till the end.
The eye poke.
And that's a real fucking man right there, bro. Yuri Prohaska, I wouldn't cross him on my worst fucking day. So that's the whole Jon Jones predicting it situation. That's the whole Jon Jones situation. And then you got this one too. DC was pissed off. Before we even get into the DC thing. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Before we get into the DC thing, let's finish off the reactions from the fighters. So Aljo had one. Here's the one from Aljo. I guess, this is totally pot meets kettle. I get it. I get it a little bit. But yeah, it says Aljo reacts to Tom Aspinall not continuing fight against Cyril Gane after double eye poke at UFC 321. Aspinall was losing that fight right away. The guy was saying, "I can't see." Again, this suggesting, I don't know where these guys get off. As far as Aljo might have the worst point I've heard yet. Just on the simple fact of I don't know where you get off thinking like you sound like a fan, bro. No offense. But it's you sound like a fan and you're a fighter of all people. That's why I'm saying that. Because to say that Aspinall was losing that fight and then he gets poked and he right away goes, "I can't see." So basically you think he was losing the fight and he looked for a way out. How are you going to accuse one of your peers of that? I just think that's kind of crazy work. Maybe it's just me. But Aljo not even on the side of oh, you should have continued. I would have continued, because he can't really talk, I guess, because he didn't continue against Peter Yan. But, he's on the side of being I think Tom took a way out because he was losing. And I think that's a total fucking assumption, bro. You're allowed to make an assumption like that. I get it. But, I'm not going to make an assumption like that. And for you as a fighter, I would definitely not think you would. My morals are a little less. I can make an assumption like that if I wanted to. But I'm still not. And then you got one of your peers, a fighter, making that assumption. So let's just hear him. Let's hear him out.
I'm going to be fair here. He got double zoinked. I get it. The reason why I think this does not look good, and I'm going to just say it straight. Tommy Aspinall was losing that fight. Illegal eye poke, unintentional, double zoink. Now, Tommy is definitely compromised. I think whether or not he could have continued is a question he would have to ask himself. And right away, the guy is saying, "I can't see." That is the one thing I have to say. Tommy really, really fucked up. You can't say, "I can't see."
But it's just look, what if he can't see? What if he can't see?
We know those are the nail in the coffin to any fight. You go, I can't see, the ref stops the fight. The doctor comes in, they look at you, they stop the fight. You can't say that. So if you actually want your 5 minutes to try to recover, to see if you can stay in the fight, you can't use those words. Just say, okay, let me take my time to see if things get better. If guys want to compete, that's what they say. I got illegally kneed, blasted in the head, and I got destroyed on social media for a year and a half. Still to this day, people still bring it up. I'm just like, what are you crying about? Tommy could have done the same thing and let the ref stop the fight. Just say, yo, I need a few more minutes. Let me have my time to see if things get better. I'm going to be fair here. Let me see if things get better. Leave it simple. Obviously, we know you can't see. You just got poked in the eye. The only thing I will say is there was no cornea abrasion, at least anything from what was released from the reports, and I could be.
So all the boys in the chat last night telling me about this corneal abrasion. I'm over here too being like, wait a minute. You guys all told me corneal abrasion, okay? Where the fuck are we getting this from, boys? I didn't hear that in that video last night, and there's been no diagnosis. I believe that if he did have a corneal abrasion, especially with the Aspinalls getting the doctors to be like, hey, can you just confirm that it was the right choice to not continue fighting? Okay, they're all up on their high horse. If they had footage of the doctor diagnosing him with a corneal abrasion, there's not a doubt in my mind they wouldn't have included that in the 46 fucking minute fight documentary. Do you guys understand what I'm saying right now? All you were telling me about this corneal abrasion. I no longer believe he was diagnosed with the corneal abrasion, and I don't think he had a corneal abrasion. I'm gonna say that too. You know, I'm all over the place. I realize that, but you can't expect me to fucking, stick on one camp. I belong to no side. I'm just trying to seek the truth here. That's the only thing I care about. And the truth seems to be that Tom did not suffer a corneal abrasion. I think Aljo is telling the truth about that. And if you disagree with me, let me know. But you need to, cite your sources, right? Give me a timestamp, something.
Be completely wrong because I don't want to misspeak. But from the photo, it looked like Tommy was okay and then is not going to have any long-term damage, any detached retina, and that is a good thing. Yeah, it sucks that the fight was canceled, but if you were truly hurt and you felt like that was the thing, I do feel that watching the fight, there's something to be said that the fight looked like it was starting to get tough. Do I question Tommy and his integrity? No, but I think it makes me question, like, did that hurt as much as you said it did? It makes me wonder.
Okay, so I'm trying to land here. I'm trying to land on something here, and I feel like this is where I'm going to say. Because I get what Aljo's saying, and I do get it, and I'm all for trying to piece things together, okay? I get what Aljo's trying to say here. I think we don't have enough information, right? We need it to be confirmed. Did Tom suffer a corneal abrasion? What did he suffer? If it's nothing at all, right? Because I think Dana needs access to these fucking, copies of these reports. So it will get released what happened to Tom Aspinall, if anything at all. Now, what do we think? If Tom Aspinall doesn't have a corneal abrasion, right, and it didn't cosmetically look bad, right, because we're talking about him being sensitive to light and all this shit, that's why he's wearing the eye patch. Well, if there's no corneal abrasion, then what's the sensitivity to light coming from? You know what I mean? You have to question these things. So if he doesn't have a corneal abrasion, if his eye cosmetically has no damage to it whatsoever, and he said he couldn't continue, what do we make of that then? Right? Because I feel like the only saving grace to Tom over the last day or so has been the fact that we chalked it up to a corneal abrasion. So I just want to know, right, there has been no reports of a corneal abrasion. He did not include it in the video, which I believe he would have if that came out of the doctor's mouth. Why wouldn't he? All it does is prove his point even more. Okay? In fact, the only thing in that video is that the doctor says you suffered no damage. So, come on, guys. If the doctor in the video says you suffered no damage, you suffered no significant damage, I think I have to pull this up now. Tom Aspinall did not sustain any dangerous eye damage upon initial evaluation.
Just calls the ref said. And he's nearly put me in the eye before. It's outrageous. It's like, it feels like my eye, someone's touched the back of my eyeball. I don't know if I can see or not because I've got this on. It felt like his finger hit the back of the eye socket when he pushed it in. I really respect what Bisping's done. I won't carry on fighting with one eye, no chance.
What is UFC? It's martial arts?
Yeah. Ah!
Okay, and there is no external features of trauma
No.
yet?
My good eye is now getting really blurry as well, so I can hardly see.
How many fingers is it?
I don't know.
Can't see at all?
No, I can't, but it just looks like you're doing that. It's nearly black.
If he stay here, I need to see him again on Monday. If he doesn't stay here, then he must see somebody after 2 days. Okay?
It's good that he stopped the fight.
Yeah. You should stop the fight until you are good again and until you're cleared.
Okay.
But we didn't find anything dangerous.
Okay. Dangerous sport, man. We've got to do some more testing.
So he did not find anything dangerous. Don't you think if there was a corneal abrasion, that would be something somewhat dangerous? Or is dangerous only have to do with like a fucking detached retina or something like that? I'm just trying to figure this out the best I can, boys. A lot of assumptions going around in the air, right? And you can pin down some things. And I want to pin down, what is the injury Tom suffered, if anything. I want a real diagnosis. We will eventually get it. We have to. That's my thing, though. That's my thing as far as like my response to Aljo and shit like that. That's what I'll say. Aljo is assuming right now, but once more info comes out, like I could see. Let me say this like this. I can see, right, just how with Arman Tsarukyan, with all the info that eventually came out, we all know the truth now. Arman couldn't make weight because of his injury. In that fight with Islam Makhachev, he couldn't make weight because of an injury, but he could have fought, right? He could have fought, and that's what Dana revealed. The reason why he didn't fight was because he didn't want to fight without the title being on the line, right? And that's Arman's issue, because he didn't step up for the company. He made a selfish decision, and he said, if the title's not on the line and I'm, can't make weight, then I don't want to fight, right? And so if certain info comes out about Tom Aspinall in the coming months, we will be able to piece it together, right? Because nobody ever says that about Arman Tsarukyan, the fact that, yes, he couldn't make weight, which resulted in him not wanting to fight. He had an injury, okay? But it wasn't an injury that was going to stop him from fighting. It was going to stop him from making weight. That's the truth about Arman. And we might find out the truth about Tom Aspinall here, I don't know, in a couple weeks. I'm waiting. You got to stream earlier. You're lucky I woke up to pee again. Unbroken. Yeah, you're right. I meant to stream earlier today, but I don't know. It's just a slow news day, so low-key I took my time a little bit. I was waiting to see if anything else would drop. But I got you. I'm going to stream earlier tomorrow. Aljo should stay in his lane of backpacking and hiking. He need to cut that broccoli haircut. Why is everyone debating the most vulnerable part of the body? We just assume a fingernail leads to corneal abrasion 95% of the time. No, I get it, Unbroken. I get it. But there's that, like, what if, there's always a what if. I like certainty. So it's like, even with what you say there, 95% of the times. So in my mind, I'm like, so you're telling me there's a 5% chance Tom Aspinall's eye is fine, right? If there's a chance, I need proof. I need it. Unbroken, I need that shit. Get me that motherfucking proof. Does Dana have access to private medical records? Tom would have to sign off on that. Well, no, I think Dana needs it because Dana's covering that stuff because it happened in the fight. Unbroken. So Dana's getting access to Tom's medical records because if Tom wants Dana to pay for that, right, then he's going to have to send it over to him. Now, if it was something that happened in the fight camp, not in the octagon, it would be different, Unbroken. But anything that happens in the octagon, Dana and the UFC cover that shit. So, of course, they get access to it. I think people assumed, yeah, Jew, I think people assumed, you know, like I said, there's a 5% chance, bro. And I know it sounds crazy, but we need to know for sure. We need to be certain on this. We'll eventually get it, boys, but we don't have it tonight, unfortunately. His dad stopped it. What up, AJD? Welcome to the chat, brother. Welcome to the chat. The doctors were kind of looking at him like nothing was wrong with him. Abrasion is just a wound that needs to heal, I think. I mean, yeah, it's just a small laceration type thing, a cut. I'm Donald Trump and I approve this message. Who? Justin G. Next. LOL. Armand on crack. Alex P. Like, who the fuck is Armand? At least fight in one pay-per-view first that we know about. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for Justin Gaethje getting that title shot. I don't know what you're getting at, AJD, but I'm all for Justin Gaethje. Or no, sorry. I'm all for Paddy Pimblett getting the title shot. My bad. Subconjunctive hemorrhage, traumatic iritis, hyphema are on the list of possibilities to eye poking. Okay, I'm broken. Let's get that. Let's get that info though. Let's get that info. That's all we need. That is all we need, boys. That info. I think we should look at Dustin Poirier though. Who has it? Champ rounds. Here's Dustin Poirier, dude. This shit cracked me. What's up with Aspinall? This shit cracked me the fuck up, bro.
No, what's up with the eye poke? I don't know. Only he knows how bad it was. But I've been in a lot of fights where I've got eye poked and I continued, and only he knows.
Is he like? My only guess here is that he's still on that laughing gas and he just got his teeth done or something like that, and so he's just like driving home. You know, like when people leave the dentist and then they record their kids still high. That's DP right now. He just got the new teeth. He's still high. I don't know. Did he just get the new teeth or has he had them?
A lot of people ask me, what's up with Aspinall? What's up with the eye poke? I don't know.
They don't even fit in his mouth, bro. These teeth barely fit in his fucking mouth.
Only he knows how bad it was. But I've been in a lot of fights where I've got eye poked and I continued, and only he knows. A lot of people ask me, what's up with Aspinall? What's up with the eye poke? I don't know. Only he knows how bad it was. But I've been in a lot of fights where I've got eye poked and I continued, and only he knows.
We love you, Dustin. We fucking love you, bro. We fucking love you and your teeth. Look at his little buck tooth. He's all buck tooth now. I think it's because he can't feel his lips. Buck tooth Dustin.
A lot of people ask me, what's up with Aspinall? What's up with the eye poke? I don't know. Only he knows how bad it was. But I've been in a lot of fights where I've got eye poked and I continued, and only he knows.
I could watch this shit all fucking day, bro. I could watch that shit all day. So yeah, oh, so Umar got that #1 contender spot. Okay, whatever. We can give it to him. It's all good. No argument there. DC.
And I was talking.
DC is big mad at Aspinalls for releasing that private footage, you know? I guess I understand. AJD says, Armand was on the Usman card and I didn't notice. Well, I mean, yeah, no surprise there. Armand ain't no crazy big name, you know what I mean? He's a good guy. Nothing against Armand, but yeah, he's definitely not like a, you know, Paddy Pimblett's way more like, you know, way more polarizing. JK Dustin too. What do you mean, which one, AJD? I'm trying to figure out what you're saying. I give credit to Dana on Paddy. He kind of implied he was signed for entertainment, but I think he saw that the kid would work hard. He saw raw talent that needed direction, and Paddy has improved. I said stop reading my shit, lol. AJD, alright, fine, I won't read your shit anymore. I'll leave it alone. I'll leave your shit alone, AJD. Unbroken, yeah, Dana did a good job with Patty. I think you might want to give more credit to like a Hunter Campbell though. But yeah, I feel you. Patty got a nice little trajectory up to a title shot, similar to Sean O'Malley. They know what to do. They know what to do with some of these guys. But also shout out to Patty for getting it done. Shout out to Patty for getting it done. All right, let's watch this.
And we got like this hot. The mic was on me, and I was talking to Tom about the heavyweight division. You had it right. You had it right, Chael. I was literally trying to tell him you could possibly be on the verge of something tremendously special right now, right? What I was saying was that in that statement, I was saying Jailton's going to grapple you, right? It's not as dangerous a fight. And I could have done a better job of saying that to Tom. Now, I was a little upset that Tom didn't release that, if I'm being honest with you. I thought when you lean in, Chael, when you lean into someone and you're talking quietly, that's a private conversation that should stay between you and the athlete. I thought it was embedded. And I know that embedded would never do something like that. But regardless of what you're saying, whether you're saying it in jest or you're being honest, like, Jailton Almeida deserves respect.
What up, Dylan?
And I
What
do
up?
respect him. And I felt bad, man, because he's been so nice to me since he got into the UFC. And I think Jailton Almeida is a great guy.
So DC feel bad low-key for talking shit about Jailton behind his back. I mean, bro, you did it. You talked shit about him behind his back. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, it did get aired out. But, I mean, don't be talking shit about Jailton behind his back like that then, bro. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. A little bit of a dirtbag move, I guess, from the Aspinalls. He says he thinks Embedded would never do something like that, you know, but the Aspinalls, they deliberately, you know, saw that they had that footage, made the choice to put it out. You know, there's a lot of moments, right? A lot of opportunities to not put that out, and they chose to, you know, and they chose to. But also, I found it interesting that, like, Chael Sonnen's walking back his fucking statements now. I mean, I said it. I was like, yo, Chael's fucking trolling, bro. Chael's trolling, and Anthony Smith means it. And here Chael is today, walking back his statements. Let me see here. Who should have just owned up to what, Dylan? Who should have owned up to it? What am I missing here? I'm lost on that, Dylan. Hold up, I'm just trying to get to what's his name. Chael Sonnen. So there's all these... I think this is the main one. Oh no, here it is. There's so many little clips of this. Okay.
More than disagree. Why did it seem like, and it actually seems like we agree more than disagree. Why did it seem like, and perhaps I misunderstood. Why did it seem like on the post show? Yeah.
I was corrected though. The kids on social media.
This is the first one, I believe.
Took that stance, which he's not going to do. Wouldn't it be interesting if Tom came out and said, no, I'm not going to rematch him. He's a cheater. Why would I rematch a guy that already cheated, that violated not one of my eyes, but both? I gave him his...
Oh, I see. You guys are talking about DC and Almeida. Yeah, DC should have just stood on it. If you say it, you gotta stand on it, bro. Don't be fucking sorry that it came out. That it got exposed. Like, you said it, you meant it. I agree, boys. I agree. Yeah, Cormier talking crap about Almeida. What's up with that weird guy that reads a lot, twerks, and dressed like Neo? Jason, his name? Oh, no, you're talking about, Are you talking about fucking, Jordan Levitt? You talking about Jordan Levitt? Chael got roasted for his L take on Raja by the wall at DC is Dom DeLuise reincarnated. Dom DeLuise. I don't even know Dom DeLuise, but that's a funny ass name. I'll have to look at it. Damn, look at the neck veins in Chael's fucking throat right there. All right, this is the clip of Chael walking back his statement.
Chance he chose to cheat, and I'm going to move on. If Tom took that stance, which he's not going to do, I'm saying, but for fun, I think he'd have a lot of people that supported him. For some reason, Surreal has come out of this thing with his hands clean. He's the one that did the poking.
Did you happen to notice at around 1 minute and 49 seconds of the first round, Tom shoots for a takedown? It's the first time in his UFC career that he's had an unsuccessful takedown attempt, and he gets stuffed and then he backs off. Did you happen to notice that the hands went into the eye that time too? It actually happened. No. Yes. Go back and look. We even have a picture of it. It's a little fuzzy because we can't show the footage here. We're not a UFC broadcast partner. But that's the takedown attempt. And as you can kind of see, the fingers are going into the eye. Do you see that? Is that good technique? Is that good technique?
I do now. No, you're right. And Tom had alluded to this. Tom said, man, he poked me several times. This wasn't the first time. Tom had said that. Now I know what it was he was referencing. But yeah, I really do think, Aaron, we got this eye poke pandemic, which I'll just tell you, as a lifelong wrestler, I've seen it before for sure, but not very often. And then we've got the weight missing, right? We got this thing where guys get called to weigh in, which is half of their job. They literally get half their check just to weigh. People don't know what show means. They think show means you step in the octagon. Show, legally defined, as you weigh in. Half of your job they fail at 3 times a year. We don't have that in wrestling. People never miss weight, and the solution is there. The solution is that you weigh them in just before the competition, just like the NCAA switched to in 1998. I only tell you this because I don't like meeting about meeting, and I don't like talking about talking. I get asked to come to these things all the time to talk, but it's just a show. The solution is...
Maybe this is it. Guess this is it.
It actually seems like we agree more than disagree. Why did it seem like, and perhaps I misunderstood, why did it seem like on the post show on Saturday on ESPN that your stance was, hey, Tom, the going gets tough sometimes, saddle up and let's go. You should be fighting. You're the champion.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And when I saw the clip, I thought that too. And Anthony and I even kind of went back and forth. It didn't represent the tone that Anthony and I had. And maybe that was because of the context that led into the clip. So let me just back you up to what we were discussing. Please. The idea of the unintentional foul, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take 5 minutes. We're going to get a break. I'm not making a decision here. The athlete now gets to participate in this group thought. But the idea behind that was for injuries. If you have something happen that injures you, Kevin Holland, as recently as a week ago, never should have got up from that nut shot. That changed him. He was not the same guy. He sustained a brief injury. That's the intent, and we were based on what Tom said. And, of course, we show him grace, and these were not his most eloquent words, but for what we had at that time, Tom had said, I was poked in the eye and I can't see. As opposed to I was poked in the eye, I am in dire pain. Something's wrong. I've got to get to the back. I got to get to a doctor. I'd like to see my children someday. It wasn't one of those. And so what Anthony and I were speaking to is in the fight, one guy's trying to stop your breathing by breaking your nose. You got to learn to push through that. One guy is trying to swell up your eye or cause some blood to get in there to affect your vision. You got to push through that. That was the tone that we were speaking of, not that actual moment with Tom. And we did not.
Shut the fuck up, dude. And you don't so what's the point in saying that though? What's the point in saying that? Because like the only reason to say that is what? Because you guys think Tom wouldn't? Because Tom wouldn't or something? Why even say that? Because Tom did, Tom wouldn't? Here you are, you know what I mean, trying to correct your words, and it doesn't even make any sense. You're just saying that fighters should be down to fight with broken noses and you know, fight with busted eyes and shit like that. Yeah, that's part of the job. But they shouldn't have to do that when it's inflicted by the fucking opponent illegally. When they get fouled illegally, okay, you don't have to do that anymore. Okay? You just got fucking subjected to something that you had no control over. That shouldn't have happened in the first place. So, like, I don't know how everybody else feels, but I think Tom would fight through with the broken nose, bro. If he got punched in the fucking nose. And if he didn't want to fight through it, I think he'd get knocked out. But what the fuck do you guys think this is? You think Tom Aspinall's gonna just get his nose broke and be like, hey, I'm not, hey, like, fight's over, my nose broke. I don't know how you go from Tom getting deliberately poked in the eye, in both eyes from Cyril Gahn, to connecting that to the fact that Tom might not continue if he breaks his nose. Tom might not continue if he busts up his eye from a punch. Like, what do you guys think this is? AJD, when's the rematch? They're talking about they're talking about, I think December. Or I heard November or December. Something like that. They mentioned it on DC and Chael's podcast, The Good Guy, Bad Guy. Let's finish this clip real quick and then I'll read the chats.
Neither of us. I'll speak for Anthony, but we did not think that Tom found a way out or was ducking out. There is a rule. Most fighters aren't aware of it. Most fighters are very confused in that moment with what to do. And the referee and the doctors are not allowed to smarten you up to say, if you don't continue, you keep your belt and you're going to get a rematch and you remain champion. The fighter just has to know in that moment. And I think that Tom was smart enough to know that rule. I think that Tom used that rule, but I don't begrudge Tom for that at all.
Well, it sure sounded like you did, bro. And there's something going on here because, again, you're trying to insinuate that Tom, like, you're not sure now. This is what Chael's kind of saying without saying it. He's not sure now. I guess this is what Chael's saying that he said. This is what Chael's saying he said. I'm not sure if Tom has it in him to continue on through a fight, if he gets his eye busted from a punch, if he gets his nose busted from a punch, because of how he took the exit route right off the eye poke. That's what Chael's trying to say then, I guess. Which, again, like, that's a little bit disrespectful, bro. Did he have control of whether or not Cyril Gahn poked him in the eye? Is that illegal? Okay, well then, forget all your fucking interpretations, bro. It's fucking illegal. You know, cue the Dana White meme clip. All right, boys. What are you saying in the chat? Jailton Almeida is a fighter, is an athlete, not a fighter, says Dylan. Well, I mean, he's definitely like a fucking grappler. That's for damn sure. He doesn't want to punch for shit. You know, I used to like Jailton a little bit more, but I knew that was going to be a tough fight for him with Volkov. Jailton, like, a little bit too small for heavyweight when you get to the top of the division, but I think he might be too big for light heavyweight. Yes, Jordan, when is he fighting again? He's entertaining. Unbroken, I looked that up while we were watching a clip. That clip we were just watching of Chael. I looked it up, and Jordan Levitt doesn't have a fight booked yet, but he's coming off a win over Kurt Hollabaugh. I don't know if you know who that is. He's the Ultimate Fighter alum, Kurt Hollabaugh. Jordan looked great in his last fight. Okay, so you know who I'm talking about. Can he break top 10 or 5 or Chase Hooper? I don't think Jordan Levitt got what it takes to get past to Chase Hooper, if I'm being real. Have they scrapped, though? Have they scrapped? I'm debating getting some In-N-Out after this, boys. I just figured I'd let you know that. Just crossed my mind. Oh yeah, he beat Jordan Levitt already. Yeah, Chase Hooper already beat Jordan Levitt. So yeah, I don't think Jordan Levitt's breaking top 10 or 5 unbroken. And you know, I don't like to say that about people, but you're asking the question. I find it sus that Aspinall was touching the eye that got impacted the least. No way it needed bandage on that eye. Dylan. Yeah, I mean, I was saying that shit. I was kind of saying that shit. I wasn't saying that part about the wrong eye. Here would be my argument for that, Dylan. We're talking about millimeters, like I don't know what's the smallest unit of measurement, right? But we're talking like really small, like, you know, the eye could have just slightly moved out of the way. This is what I'm trying to say. Tom's left eye could have just moved slightly out of the way, right, of damage when Cyril Gane poked that one. But who knows? Maybe the right eye was just, the pupil was in the right spot at the right time and it got fucked with. I don't know. You know, but like, because the eye can, you know, move on a swivel. So, you know, your eye could be over here, you know, when the finger came in and just miss it. That's what I'm trying to say. But I think definitely on one of the eyes, he hit that pupil head on. Because the pupil, you know, low-key what affects most of the vision. But no way it needed a bandage on that eye. Yeah, I was kind of saying, like, dude, that bandage is overkill. But then people are saying, well, he's got a corneal abrasion, which it turns out I don't think he has. And again, if he didn't have a corneal abrasion, then I'm gonna be like, yeah, he didn't need that fucking bandage. But they were saying the bandage was like, I read a comment too. They said the bandage was to apply pressure or something like that. I don't know. Are they really not allowed to eat from when they get to the arena till fight time, water only? No, bro. Derek Lewis had like a fucking Carl's Jr. sandwich in the back before, I think. Or like Popeyes. When's the rematch? December, and have Alex P as backup. Ooh, I like that, AJD. That'd be some good money. And just real quick, shout out to all the boys in the chat right now in the stream. Make sure if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And if you haven't liked the video, like it. And shout out to you boys. Low-key, I hope they run it back in December. That December pay-per-view does feel like it's missing another fight. Yeah, we could do that. What's on the December pay-per-view? What is it? UFC 323? Yeah. Oh, that's good money. Yeah, because Yanin, Merab can't really headline a card, right? And since, you know, Tom vs. Gane was co-main evented by that ladies fight, which, come on, let's just be real, it wasn't that good. I mean, it was good, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't that elite skill level we're looking for. Sure, it was a good scrap, whatever. Although Virna laid on Mackenzie a lot and did nothing, just like Jailton did. So, I don't know. Subjective. My point is, since fans got fucked with that one, right, with that female fight basically as the main event, yeah, double back, December, 2 male title fights to end the year. I would love it. I would love it. I think fans would love it. I think the fans really love when there's 2 male title fights on a card. It hits way fucking different, you know, than 2 title fights, 1 male, 1 female. This hits how it's supposed to hit. You know what I mean? I'm all for it. The good thing is that heavyweights barely cut weight, if any at all, so it can be quick and easy to have an immediate rematch in the near future. Good call, Dylan. That's a good call. And so we will definitely find out about Tom's eye injury there too, because Unbroken, again, was questioning like whether or not that medical records will be private. And it's like, nah, we need those medical records because we're booking that rematch, bro. So they're definitely going to reveal, you know, what happened with Tom's eye exactly. Sometime in the near future. I think Chael should address him grifting $20 boxes of cereal. Who's grifting $20 boxes of cereal, dude? That's crazy. Oh shit, I forgot. I'm not supposed to read AJD's comments. I'm going to leave AJD's comments out of it. Eye patch Tommy. Chael has a knack for making 2 thoughts last 20 minutes. Unbroken, you know what? Low-key, I have that fucking knack too. If you haven't noticed already. Maybe not 20 minutes, but I got that knack a little bit. Pantoja defending on there too. Oh, damn, you're kidding me. That's right, huh? That's right, boys. My bad. Damn, 3 title fights? I don't think they're going to do that. Scratch that idea. Scratch that idea. Unless they move Merab versus Peter Yan to a later date, which I don't think they're going to do because it's Merab's record, right? Maybe you move Alexandre to a later date, but no, maybe Tom versus Gone, you know what I mean? First Paramount pay-per-view, 2026. Let's run it. Good money. AJD says only read it out if he puts 2 question marks behind it or change my tone. All right, AJ, fucking relax, bro. I'm only read it if you put question marks behind it, all right? And I don't know if I could change my tone. I don't even know how I sound, bro. He lost to Chase a year and a half ago, I thought, but he's different now. Yeah, but so is Chase, Unbroken. Chase is evolving, bro. He's going to be a contender real soon. Chase moving to the top of the division. You know, Jordan Levitt's got, you know, maybe he's catching up, but Chase got his sights set on, like, the top. Nanometer, I think, is smallest unit. Anything less is just silly. So, yeah, we're talking nanometers, you know. Nanometers. Tom's eye could have been a nanometer away from that fucking finger. Do you think the odds for the rematch would have a Tom? Do you think the odds for the rematch would have Tom as a slight favorite, a pick and fight, or even a slight Gone favorite? Well, bro, I heard the odds came out, which I haven't really been looking at, or like, how do I say this? I heard the odds came out, but I haven't been able to find them online. Like, even the sports books that they say posted the odds, when I go online, like, if I wanted to place a bet, I couldn't fucking place a bet. So, like, I don't know where they're getting these odds from, but they're saying, like, Tom Aspinall is a minus 200 right now. Tom Aspinall minus 200. LOL, UK English is ass. Oh, really? I thought UFC had no outside food rule till fight because of tainted supplements, etc. I guess it changed. Damn, I'm broken. I didn't know that, but I definitely know for a fact that there was a point in time where Derek Lewis ate Popeye's chicken backstage before his fight. There's, like, video of it. There's, like, photos of him eating it from, like, fighters and shit like that. Are you in France? No, I'm not in France. I'm in America. I'm in California. Where are you from, AJ? Now, the last thing we kind of have on the day, boys, and then we can do, like, one quick scroll on X. But my man, Joaquin Buckley, you know, the story has been told on this YouTube channel, in fact. I believe it was told first on this YouTube channel. And I don't even think I clipped it up. I don't even think I clipped it. I know I didn't clip it, but yeah, he did tell the story. He told me the story first. So he's retelling the story here. But he did tell it in one of our interviews. So this isn't an exclusive is my point. This story isn't like, you know, I might have put he revealed it for the fucking caption, but this isn't new news. This is old news. But, you know, Buck just resurfacing, popping back out on YouTube and shit, so he told a story. So this is the story of when Buck got turned down by Pereira in 2022 after Abdulrazak Al Hassan pulled out of his fight. He wanted to stay on the card. They offered him Pereira. He said yes, and the Pereira said no. So he goes, he wasn't able to take the fight because they said they wouldn't be ready in time. I was planning on knocking that man out too. This is Pereira's worst fucking nightmare right here. Joaquin Numanza Buckley, boys. Pereira's worst fucking nightmare.
it was gonna be Razak.
Oh, that's
Razak
right.
Al Hassan. So Razak gone ahead and said he had a little shoulder injury. So they called me up, telling me Razak had pulled out the fight. And I'm like, come on, bro. And they was like, look, we can make it for another day. I said, hell no, don't make it for another day, man. Find me a fighter, man. I don't care who it is, you find me a fighter. So Brian at the time, who was my manager, called me back. And he sounded all like distressed. He was like,
So he hasn't found anybody. He's thrown a name out. I've got to present it to you, and you got to talk to your coaches, and you guys can make the call. But that is my opinion.
Yep, let me call coach. You know what I'm saying? But in my head, it's a yes.
This shit looks like it's straight out of a fucking movie, bro. I don't know how he got this shit on tape.
So let me call him. And he sounded all like distressed. He was like, Buckley, I really don't like this fight for us. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You know, he's a good fighter, but not with a really big name. And before he even got, it was gonna be Razak.
Oh, that's right.
Razak. Before he even got the name out, I already had it in my heart. I said, is it Alex Pereira? He said, how the fuck you know that? Right? I was like, man, I just had a feeling. But that's what they want me to fight? He said, yes. I said, look, I'm a dog, nigga, so regardless of what we do, I was like, man, I gotta eat, right? He said, fuck it, let's run it. So I called Brian back. I said, man, it's a go. He gonna talk about, man, I got some good news and I got some bad news. I'm like, oh, what's this dude on, right? He said, the good news is that you look good from the promotion of taking this fight because nobody else wanted to fight this man at the time, right? He said, but the bad news is he won't be able to take the fight because his coaches or himself said they wouldn't be ready in time, you know. But regardless of all of that, right, you know, that fight and seeing where Alex Pereira is now, it don't shun me like, oh, damn, I'm glad I didn't fight that dude. Like, no. It shows me that the ability that I have to take on any fight, to take on any challenge and not back down from nobody, bro. Like, man, I'm a dog just like these guys. But I'm motivated because before he even got the name out, I'm motivated because I see a person like Alex Pereira out there doing what he's doing, and I was the person that was willing to take that fight. And be honest with you, I was gonna plan on knocking that man out too. Now,
I just gotta say it, this man's in fight shape. This man is cut up. Repping 3 plates on the fucking, I don't know what you call this, lay down bench press machine. 3 plates is crazy.
I was gonna use my wrestling now. I was gonna put on that singlet and take his ass down, tire him out, but I was gonna plan on finishing him, cause y'all know that's what I do. Motivated because
y'all know that's what I do. Alright? That's what he do. I was gonna actually play you guys the DJ clips too. Cause there's some extra reactions like DJ, right? Demetrius. We might as well react to it together. I haven't really paid it no mind. I know it's just Demetrius fucking yapping again. No, I'm just playing. I love Demetrius. But he do be yapping sometimes about, like, you know, after these fights and about controversies. He's always, like, taking different sides and shit. Not the side I want him to be on. Is it in my bookmarks? It might be. Yeah, let's just deep bookmark these. AJD, I saw you're from Montana. You're a fan of, what's Sean O'Malley's little teammate's name? Tommy Gun? You a fan of Tommy Gun? Okay, here's DJ.
Hands exposed. Now, people got to realize, you're never going to get rid of eye pokes in mixed martial arts because we have our hands exposed. We need our hands exposed. Why? When I parry a jab, you don't parry jab like this. You parry jab like this. Baseball catch. Or parry jab, parry cross like this. My hands are open, not like this. When my hands are like this closed, I am tense. My hand is tense. That's why when I fight, if you watch my fights, I'm like this. I'm moving like this. I could be faster this way than like this. It's just the instincts of the physicality of like fighting. When you learn how to kick, They say open your hands. It's called hand exchange. I'm hand exchange because I want to block my opponent's vision. And damn, let me tell you, Sirgan did a great job blocking that vision. Okay,
He sure
I want
did.
to, I want to block his vision so he does not see the leg kick. You could do it by punching, which is not the best way. 1, 2, 9, or 1, 3, 10. But naturally, even when I throw my leg kicks, my hands are coming out because I spent 15 years throwing kicks this way, and that's how they teach you, is to open your hands and spread them and spread your fingers and kick your opponent.
I don't know, DJ. I don't fucking know, dude. I mean, you're DJ. Like, what do you want me to say to you? Like, I'm supposed to argue with DJ?
On.
My thing would be, how many eye pokes did you have then, man? How many? Someone goes, I'm so glad everyone is realizing how retarded DJ is. What do the comments say? I don't got much of an opinion on this. See, this guy goes, Prince Bobby, this guy goes crazy, though. He goes, you absolutely can. Every time I see this dumbass speak, he's always wrong or going against the majority opinion to be different. MMA Guru gave him more fame than his wins over janitors did. I do always see him fucking going against the narrative. I always see him going against it. Recently, he was going against it. I think it was like with Kamzat or something like that. He's a scum. Oh my goodness. Instant point deduction, DQ if it happens more than 3 times, fines, suspensions, etc. It can easily be solved. Fighters go their whole career without eye poking anyone. Mighty Mouse speaking, why you can't stop eye pokes in MMA got me weak, but it's facts though. Hand position in MMA is all about survival, not writing sonnets. Rogan seems to think there's a glove out there that will drastically reduce the chances, but the UFC doesn't want to pay to buy the company out. We're talking about Onyx. Shout out to Justin Gaethje refusing to rep that UFC logo on his gloves. That's another reason why he ain't getting a fucking title shot. So how is it that some fighters never poke their opponents in the eyes? It's being used by cheaters to gain an edge is all it is. Take a point and these will clear up pretty quickly. So yeah. And I wanted to, there's a Patty Pimblett one too. I just wanted to show you guys the Patty one. So it says, Patty reacts to Tom's eye poke. I feel bad for Cyril Gahn, even though it was his fault. It was unintentional. He didn't mean to do it. One of the worst pay-per-views in UFC history. Yeah, the way it ended was terrible.
Then like this would be one of the worst. That was an eye poke, wasn't it? That was an eye poke, wasn't it? That was both eyes as well. That wasn't just his finger in one eye. His fingers went in both eyes. It's not even like he just poked them in one, lad. He just pushed both his fingers into his eyes. I can't see, as he just said. Lad, if this does end like this will be one of the worst pay-per-views in UFC's history. One of the biggest disappointments ever when it comes to a card. Yeah, lad, that's nasty the way both them fingers go in there. Like, lad, this fight can't end like this, lad. He hasn't fought in 15 months, lad, and then, lad, the way Tom's reacting here, it seems like he can't see, lad, so they're going to pull the fight. It's done. Heavy that. Anticlimactic as it gets though, John Anik, you are not wrong. I think they've got to run that back, lad. They can't not do that fight again. It was shaping up to be a good fight, the best test Tom's had so far in the UFC. Good for Tom, lad, yeah. Feel bad for Siligan too, even though it was his fault. It was unintentional, he didn't mean to do it. But still, it's his fault that the fight's not fucking continuing. You need to do something with the gloves, lad, so you can't do that with your fingers.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Definitely a terrible pay-per-view. I wonder if Patty would have continued, if he was Tom. You know? I wonder if Patty would have continued if he was Tom.
Well, that was an eye poke, wasn't it?
So here's a rankings update. Umar, number 1, we already know that. Azamat takes the number 7 spot. Something's off with his mouth. Something's definitely off with his mouth. Walter Walker lands the number 14 spot after his 4th consecutive heel hook. Okay, let's hear Paul Felder's take.
I was as disappointed as anybody else. And I think at first I really was kind of on the side of, man, Tom, like, come on, you got to step up. This is a main event, this heavyweight title. Take as much time as you need, but get back in there. I think when I saw the poke and how bad it was and the fact that it compromised both eyes, it was ugly. And you're right that only Tom Aspinall really knows. Could he have continued? And I think I talked to a few people about this, and somebody brought up a really good point to me that let's say that he could kind of see, but it was not great 100%. And you're in there with a guy like Cyril Gane, who's on point. He's on point. You haven't been in the octagon in a really long time. And now you're compromised. And even if you maybe can continue, do you I think there was a part of it that was like, shit, I'm not fighting this guy with not 100% vision. And after a poke like that, you're not going to have 100% vision. Even as the fight goes on, you're still going to be a little blurry. You're still going to be rubbing your eye. And if anything is off with Cyril Gane on that night, he's catching you. He's finding you. He's already finding the mark when you had two eyes that were working 100%. So I do think there was a part of it where he was thinking, I'm not continuing this because now I'm compromised. And it's on Cyril Gane because he is the one that committed the foul, right? I know there's been a lot of talk, and I know you're thinking the same thing. There's been a lot of talk of Tom. We're kind of getting lost in that. And whether he could have or couldn't have, it was Cyril Gane that made a pretty egregious foul there. So that's got to be addressed.
Paul Felder, the consummate professional, bro. You got to love Paul. Yeah, Bisping weighed in on the dad speaking about the boxing plans, but we don't need to listen to that. Oh, Bisping says UFC could stack 3 title fights for UFC 323. 3 matches going to be even bigger. They're going to run it back really quickly. They can put it on MSG at the end of the year. They've got Pantoja and Van, and they've got Merab and Peter. Stick a 3rd title fight on that, the final one on ESPN, and the end of the year with 3 title fights. They don't have to make weight. Both men learned a little bit from what we saw. Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Because, you could easily do that just on the simple fact that, in theory, the UFC already has their pay-per-views till the end of the year planned out. They're almost getting a freebie with this rematch with Tom and Cyril. They could stack this on any pay-per-view they want. Because they already got the pay-per-views mapped out for the next, 6 months or so. So there's really nothing stopping them from putting 3 title fights, you know what I mean, in December if the boys want to run it. There's really nothing stopping them. There's no slot that needs to be filled. You feel me? They've all been filled. This is just like a free card builder right here. We can see what Bisping says.
MSG, they could put it on the end. The rematch is going to be even bigger. They're going to run it back really quickly. They could put it on MSG. They could put it on the end of the year. They've got Pantoja versus Joshua Van, of course. What am I saying? That fight already happened with Kai Kara France. They've got Pantoja and Joshua Van. They've got Merab versus Piotr Jan. Stick a 3rd title fight on there. The final one on ESPN. End of an era. Go out with the bang. 3 title fights. They don't have to make weight. They've got to run it back nice and soon, I think, because obviously you want to peak in the training camp. Both men were looking good. They can both learn a little bit from what they saw. We all know that Cyril can stop a takedown. Would he be able to stop them 2, 3, 4, 5 when he's getting tired? We don't know. But in round 1, he was able to stop the takedowns. It was shaping up to be phenomenal. The rematch.
Not only would 3 title fights in December be historic, but it would be super fun. It'd be super fun. I would love it. The fans need it. It's been a rough year for fans. I say give it to them. You know, and I think also, why let a lot of time go by? These guys already, you know, they did their whole camps. Fight only lasted 5 minutes. Let them heal up or whatever the case. Let them have a little bit of rest. Then back to it. You know what I mean? A month and a half of training or something like that. Ready up for December. I like it. What are we going to, you know what I mean? Why make them wait longer? They're already primed and ready to go. Let them take a break for a few weeks. Rest and recharge. You know what I mean? 6-week training camp or something like that. Or however long. You know, whatever they need. Talk to them. See what they want. But I love that. December, 3 title fights. All right, boys. We can read some chats now. We pretty much knocked off all the topics. We did knock off all the topics, so I'll read the chats now. Let's see. Oh, I'm broken. I see what you're saying. Chael used to push that Magic Spoon cereal for $20 to $25 a box. Bro, it's not that expensive though. They sell that shit at Trader Joe's for like $6.99 a box. I fuck with Magic Spoon. That's protein cereal. I want them to sponsor me, bro. Let me push them. I would love a fucking Magic Spoon sponsorship. AJD talking about being from Montana. Dylan says that 2022 phone call footage with his manager looks like a reenactment. How does he have all that footage? The footage with him and his manager was crazy. It looked like it was out of 8 Mile or some shit. These boys talking about where AJD lives. AJD, make sure you subscribe, bro. Dylan, are you subscribed already, Dylan? I think you are, bro. I mean, you can't just Castro me like that and not be subscribed. I'm going to be real. If you're calling me Castro, Dylan, you pretty much, I mean, you pretty much have to be subscribed. But I need the confirmation. I want to know. In my opinion, eye pokes can happen when someone has a kickboxing background or trains heavily in boxing gloves, so they're used to not 100% closing their hands when striking. Yeah? I mean, I guess. But dude, my thing is, even if you do happen to hit the face, I think like doing that with your fingers and getting them in the eye is crazy. Like if you're on the face, right, you could easily pull back, you can easily swipe, like you can easily deflect it. You know, but the people who go right in the eye, I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. Like I get what Dylan's saying, but still I don't see how you can just like deliberately fucking stab him in the eye. Like, okay, I can get a mistake, I can get you might hit the face, but just swipe your hand, pull back, like something. Patty is Max Headroom reincarnated. Unbroken has everybody's doppelganger on lock. AJD agreed. Play them side by side, they talk and think the same. It could be the last pay-per-view ever, might as well go big. Hey, Drew, that's another good point. Last pay-per-view ever, might as well just run it. Dylan, let's go. I've been subscribed. All right, brother. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I should be seeing you in the chat more often then. AJD's telling me he ain't subscribing, I think. It's all good, AJD. Or I don't know what he's saying. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Just throw it on. Maybe next card. I mean, they went one round. So, yeah, shout out to all the boys. Anything else I should look at? It's fucking late, boys. I'm tired as fuck. I'm going to be real. You don't know how many times I got that, Unbroken. You don't know how many times I got that. Not the Justin Trudeau part, but the Fidel Castro part. AJD, you subbed? Please sub, AJD. Or unless you're telling me you're subbed. I think you are. Love you, AJ. Oh, hell yeah. Like a decade ago? Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. I love it, boys. Like I said, if you guys don't already know, we're live every night, boys. Every single night. So, I should be seeing you boys in the chat more often then. We always got you in the chat. Unbroken becoming a main character. You know? Stuart's in the chat as well. Stu. Randy. You know, we got all the regulars. Turtle. Shout out all the boys, man. M-Gal Productions. What up? Thanks for joining me again tonight, boys. And gals. But yeah, we're just wrapping up now. I don't know. I'll scroll one more time. Any questions? Q&A style. That looks good. That looks good. I'm gonna go get some In-N-Out after this. In-N-Out or Chipotle, I haven't decided. What up, Chris? Chris coming in late. That's great work. Hurricane Melissa is a Cat 6'7". What's going on with Hurricane Melissa? If you guys haven't noticed by now, the only thing I'm fucking tapped in on is literally MMA. Like, I'm not tapped in on anything else going on in the world other than combat sports. Like, is there a hurricane going on right now I'm not familiar with? Chris just comes in as if like Hurricane Melissa is common knowledge in this chat. Oh, it's in Jamaica.
The worst storm in its history. Category 5 Hurricane Melissa is forecast to bring life-threatening storm surge, devastating flooding, and landslides. Melissa's already left a trail of damage across the Caribbean, with at least 3 reported deaths in Haiti. Now Jamaica's in a state of emergency as it prepares for catastrophic destruction. ABC's Ike Ajachi standing by in Jamaica. But first, ABC meteorologist Kent Joaquin has an update on the track and timing of this.
Okay. Category 5 storm. Where did the science of a 6 to 8 week training camp originate from? Unbroken, this is just a random ass answer, but I'm gonna say it originated from lazy ass fighters who don't train year round, and so like they need 8 weeks because they've just been drinking, fucking laying on their ass for you know, since their last fight. I think that's where an 8 week camp originated from. Fighters who are just like super out of shape. Because you see a lot of fighters today, they don't need 8 weeks. You know, a lot of fighters who stay ready, like Brendan Allen, he said he's like, yeah, this wasn't really short notice. I've been staying ready like 4 to 5 weeks, more than enough. You know, you don't really need 8 weeks unless you like need to get back in shape. I think an 8-week training camp is to get back in shape. Guys like Sean O'Malley like those long ass training camps though. I don't know why. I think the Diaz brothers also used to do heavy training camps, long ass ones. But they wouldn't get out of shape, so I don't know why they did it. I think they just kind of bought into the boxing approach. It's bad, biggest one in 100 years. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Islam cool, but I don't get too interested in his interviews and shit like that. I don't know why. Like, I just be skipping it. Why the fuck are these chicks popping up on my thing? I guess it knows something. I guess it knows something, boys. Hey, Dariush. Yeah, not much, boys. I'd save the 8-week camps exclusively for title fights. Yeah, especially if you're the challenger, right? If you're a challenger for a champion, I think 8 weeks is good. You got to tack on some extra skills, right? But when you're coming up, like a 4 to 6 week camp is perfectly fine. Shout out to all the boys watching, everybody in the chat. Like the video, subscribe. I mean, can we get it to 10 likes before the end of the stream, boys? We only need 2 more. That would be magical. Last night's stream did great. We had like 21 likes on the stream. Yeah, 21 likes, 565 views on that one. That's some good shit. Alright, boys. Seems like at some point 8 weeks would be counterproductive. Guess it depends on your genetics and body type. No, yeah, overtraining could be a thing. And that's why I think even with Tom and Cyril, they've already trained enough, bro. They don't need a long-ass camp again. You know? Take a break for a little bit. Prime yourself back up. Just don't get too out of shape. Stay ready, you feel me? Just stay ready, boys. We coming. 3 title fights, end of 2025. You know what I'm saying? Last pay-per-view in history. At least we could sell it like that. I think there's going to be more, you know, down the road. But we could sell it like that for now. Alright, boys. I think I need to get some sleep. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Unless you guys got questions, I might stick around. I see we got 10 people watching right now. But nah, it's like 12:13, midnight. If I want to get to In-N-Out, I only got 45 minutes. Says 9 likes now. All we need is 1 more, boys. 1 more like. We got 10 people watching. We got 9 likes. You do the math. How do you not get ring rust after 15 months? Sheesh. Well, I'm sure he did have a little bit of ring rust. I mean, he didn't look that good. The way he was spinning and shit, I was like, ugh. The way Tom Aspinall spun out there a couple of times, I was like, damn. You're kidding me. Top 5 Cyril gone cheating moments. Damn, Cyril kicked John in the nuts. We gotta watch this before we get off. Go get that animal style double-double. Shout out Jew. Shout out Jew. I'm gonna go get that real quick. After we watch this. Back of the head shot. Jew, you got an In-N-Out in your area or what? Grabbing the fence. Back of the head. He landed that spinning kick to the body, Chris. I saw it. Second one he kind of missed, though. Okay, hell yeah, Jew. Hell yeah. Only in Cali we got that In-N-Out. But yeah, I'm going to go get that burger and fucking animal style fries right now. Hey, and shout out to whoever gave me that 10th like. Shout out to whoever gave me that 10th like. I appreciate it. Love you, boys. Let's see. I'll read the last of the chats. I'm off to Sandy's Mandela Effects channel. Lives if you all like supernatural stuff. Sandy's Mandela Effects channel. Okay, I'll check it out. Damn, I miss In-N-Out. Get it animal style. I'm going to go get it animal style. You guys know that if you get the burger animal style, they like mustard fry the fucking patty. And then they give you some pickles in it too. I don't know if you guys ever run the animal style burger. But if you get the burger animal style, like I said, mustard fried patty and pickles with grilled onions. It comes with grilled onions, animal style. It's right down the street, so I got some time. Oh, you're from Downey, Chris? Dude, Downey's like fucking like 45 minutes away from me. Hop on the freeway and I'm there. Downey real close. I don't know if you know Orange County, Chris, but I'm from Orange County. You know, like Santa Ana and shit? John Wayne Airport? The Aussie that knocked out with the head kick, what's his potential in Broken? I think he's got high potential. That knockout over Nasrat is a fucking problem, bro. He's a beast. You know, like the fact that he did that to a Nasrat, right? And this is Nasrat with abs now. Nasrat used to not be as lean with more of a tubby belly, right? But he got them abs now, and he knocked his ass out. So I think there's a high ceiling for Sal Killed. Sal Killed's the name. Carl's Jr. Star Burger, messy as fuck, but so good. You know what, Chris? I fuck with Carl's Jr. If I'm gonna get a fast food burger, I fuck with Carl's Jr. Nice. Hendo's from Downey. Yeah, I know Orange. Yeah, let's go. All right, Chris, you know the deal. All right, boys. I try and not eat beef, 99% vegetarian. Okay, Unbroken. You be eating some beans then for your protein? Beans are fire, low-key. I like beans. I'm not even going to lie to you. They eat a lot of beans in the UK on toast and shit. I could fuck with that. I could fuck with some beans and toast. We don't have them. We have Hardee's. Oh, that's right. You got Hardee's. It's the same thing, though, is it not? It's the same thing, I think. Now we talking fast food. All right, boys. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll try to stream earlier tomorrow. I know this one was late. So, I'll go ahead and stream, 6, 7 p.m. tomorrow. You have my word. All right? Latest start time tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pacific. All right, boys. My word is locked in. And I will see you boys tomorrow, all right? Peace out, all you boys.